जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रुत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः. So 5 minutes we'll all sit straight and meditate. As I was telling you earlier, those of you who have been initiated into any mantra will repeat that mantra, and those of you who have not been initiated as yet, please visualize a luminous space in the place of your heart and think of your pure self, the divine self, and try to just be a witness to the thought processes in your mind. If any thought comes, just don't get connected with that thought, just stay indifferent and try to withdraw yourself from external sounds or external disturbances. I will say the word Om, and afterwards you can close your eyes and try to meditate for 5 minutes. Om. We were studying the Katha Upanishad, Death with a Difference, as we saw in the last two classes. Death with a difference because there is no death for Atman. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So that which is thought of as being killed, that which is thought of as the killer, does not in reality die. Death is just a passing phase of this self, soul, Atman, which is truly Brahman. So that is why I prefer to call the Katha Upanishad the death with a difference, because the question Nachiketa puts before Lord of Death Yama is, what happens to an individual soul after death? Asti iti cha aike, nayam asti iti cha aike. Some people say that the soul exists after the death. Some say that it does not. So what actually happens? So the whole question of death is put as though it is a boundary. It is a boundary. It is a thing after which something takes place. It is a state, just like after the birth of the body, a particular individual's life starts, or at least apparently we know only of the life which we have after our births. So similarly, after the death there is a big full stop, but there is no full stop. That is what Yama says, that the whole secret of this death is that there is no death. Now we see dualities in this universe. That is what the next mantra is going to talk about. We see dualities in this universe. We see good, we see evil. We saw this mantra last class also. I'm again taking it up. We see bad, we see good, we see black, we see white, we see high, we see low. But there is another kind of duality. Just like when you are standing in a road which bends into a fork, two roads go. Some people take one road, some others take the other. So there are two options always in front of you. What is that? Whether we have already seen this in another mantra, preyascha shreyascha. Whether you will take the preferable or whether you will take the pleasurable. Always we have this option. You are diagnosed with diabetes. Now whether you will stop eating sweets or don't bother about doctors and diabetes, just eat rasgulla or whatever you want to eat. Some people will say, I will eat gajar ka halwa. Okay, gajar ka halwa, you eat. So that gives you pleasure, but that is not preferable because it causes harm to the body and in consequence causes harm to your bank balance, it causes harm to your mind, etc. Some other people, they will have a very great discipline, they will not go for the pleasurable, they will stick to the preferable. There again Yama says, but it is true that majority of people opt for the pleasurable. It is easy to eat a pizza than to see many people eating and not eating yourself. So why so much jhamela? Just eat. So you also keep the economy running in good shape. Many people have a big logic. Why they enjoy? Because if they don't enjoy, economy will come down. So every monk is asked, why are you not marrying? Because you are not marrying, the entire creation is being disturbed by you are not producing children. So all General question asked to a sannyasi is that why are you not producing children? This is the Prakriti's niyama, the law of creation, that you should produce children. Like that, the general majority wants to go towards the pleasurable. Now, immediately the question comes that we say that the scriptures are there for everybody. We say Vedas are there for everybody. And I say that they are called manuals of life because these manuals have to be used when you are living. If that is the case, then are these manuals only for people who want to quit, not eat Rasagulla, or are these manuals applicable to people who want to eat Rasagulla also? So the answer is that the manuals are applicable for both these people. The manuals are also for people who want the pleasurable. They are also for people who want the preferable. So whether you will eat the Rasagulla or not eat, the scriptures will show you path and also give you guidance for both the things. Only thing is, the scripture says that eating Rasagulla is inferior to not eating. The preferable is superior to the pleasurable. That is what it will say. But it will help you in getting both. So here that is the thing what is being told by Yama. This is the first mantra of the third canto of the first chapter of Kathopanishad. And what is being told, we will see. Usually people come to God for some purpose. Yesterday, last class I told you, I gave you some joke, etc. So what is the purpose? So if my child passes matriculation examination, what I will do, in South India there is a tradition, they will make vadas and make big garland and they will put it on generally Hanuman, or they will offer 101 coconuts for some Ganapati or somebody. Or in North India there is some other kind of, here in eastern part of India there is this habit of offering a tender coconut with little sugar, etc. So they will offer, I will offer. Once you make my child pass the matriculation examination, I will offer. Swami Vivekananda calls this shopkeeping religion. Quid pro quo. You get something in return to what you give. So this kind of agreement with God. I give you this or you give me this, I want this. Majority of people are believers in religion, but what kind of religion? God fearing religion. A religion which is afraid of God, because the God is always sitting there somewhere in God knows where with a big stick and trying to beat you if you do something wrong, and will give you a lollipop if you do something good. So this kind of idea. Very few people adopt a religion which is God embracing religion, who want to actually realize the nature of God. Very few. Majority are God fearing. Aisa mat karo, paap, punya. So this whole concept of sin and virtue is there in almost every religion. Swamiji says that why are you bound by these kind of things? To call you a sinner, it's a libel on human nature to call ye divinities sinners. So you are divine beings, why do you call yourself sinner? So the moment you call yourself sinner, you are actually binding yourself in a very, very straight-jacketed idea of what you are. Instead of that, you be open. Swamiji says mistakes people do. A cow does not do mistake, cow does not tell lie, but a cow remains a cow. A wall does not tell lie, it remains a wall. A human being can tell lie, do mistakes, but at the same time a human being can become a saint also. So this evolution is there within you. So you have to understand that. So most of the people do this God fearing religion. For that, in Vedas there is scope. What? People want to go to heaven. So here it is very hot, I cannot purchase air conditioner. Even if I purchase, air conditioners are very cheap, but the electricity bill will be very costly. So I don't want air conditioner, so I am very If I go to heaven, there will be AC, there will be so many people, and even here if I want to drink and all, so much of problem there. Apsaras will come and they will serve all kinds of drinks. Everything is taken care of. So I want to go to heaven. So what does the Veda say? It does not say don't go to heaven, oh you will die, etc. Nothing. It says Agni Hotram Juhuyat Swarga Kama. So one who wants to go to heaven, perform Agni Hotra sacrifice. So you see, even this people who want pleasurable things, they are also given a chance. So okay, now you take this, afterwards you will have better idea, you will know better and you will come for preferable things. Now I will chant the mantra, you can follow. Ritam Pibantau. Sorry, we have not chanted the Shanti mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Ritam Pibantau Sukritasya Loke Guham Pravishtau Parame Parardhe Chaya Tapau Brahma Vido Vadanti Panchagnayoye Chatrinachiketa Ritam Pibantau Sukritasya Loke. Loke in this world. Loke. Loka is world. Loke in this world. Sukritasya Ritam Pibantau. Sukritasya, those who perform actions. Sukritasya. What kind of actions? So even if you want to enjoy the pleasurable, you need to perform good actions. You kill a person, you will not get something pleasurable. You will get only Tihar jail. So Sukritasya, good actions, virtuous actions. Ritam Pibantau. So this Pibantau is in the dual number. In Sanskrit, there are three numbers: singular, dual and plural. So you don't need to tell that there are two people. You just say Pibantau means two people were drinking. What are those two people? Ritam Pibantau. They drink this Ritam. Rita means cosmic order. Here it means the fruit. Sukritasya Ritam Pibantau. They drink or they enjoy the fruits of their actions, good actions. And where do they enjoy this? Parame Parardhe. Interestingly, heart has been always shown as the place for emotion, for the place of bliss, the place for higher spiritual growth. So always we say heart, we point to the heart, not to the head. So Parame Parardhe. In this Parame, superior Parardhe, space of the heart, what happens? Yav, those two people, one person is doing good action to get the fruit of the action. Another person is doing good action to go beyond the fruit of the action. This is the difference. One person is doing the action so that he gets some fruit. Another person is doing the action and surrendering the fruit, or actually does not want the fruit. So karmanye Vadikaraste. Some Sanskrit knowledge will not kill you, is the thing. Latest research has shown that if you learn Sanskrit, nobody dies actually. So karmanye karmanye tu eva adhika karmanye te eva adhikaraste. adhikaraste, karmanyetu eva adhikarah te. You have only right to perform action. Then ma phaleshu kadachana, kadachana, never. Phaleshu ma, not for the fruits. So you have rights only for the action. You only perform. Don't underperform and do not ask any questions about appraisal. This is what God says. Don't question appraisal, just keep on performing. Appraisal I will take care of. So, karmanye tevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana.
It should apply for the bad words also. It should apply for the bad words. Suppose of terrorist activities, etc.
This we have, I think, discussed here again. Whenever you say that something is bad, it is prompted by selfishness. So anything which is prompted by selfishness does not come into this particular structure. What is the structure? Only karmanye te eva adhikaraha. You have only rights to perform action, not for the phala. So selfishness always wants phala. See, whenever you say bad something, it is mainly because of selfishness. So selfishness cannot come here, because then you want. Why does Al-Qaeda do something? In Bengali, Qaeda means what? A way of doing things, a technique, trick. Qaeda. So trick. So one Swami says that the Qaeda which cannot be caught is called Al-Qaeda. So Al-Qaeda, why does Al-Qaeda do something? To create terror in the minds of people, so that they will be always afraid of God only knows what. Till now nothing they could find out. The Taliban is making people afraid for what end nobody knows. Everybody is dying, that's what everybody knows. But having said that, number of people who die because of terrorism is very less. More people die because of road accidents. This also we should remember. We make such a big hue and cry of terrorism. The number of people who die actually because of terrorism is way less than people dying of malnutrition, people dying while childbirth. The number of children who die, they are much more, exponentially more than terrorist death. And people who die on road accident, it is much more. People who die because of tuberculosis. So I think lot of undue attention has been given on terrorism. So that itself is very terroristic, you see, because that again has got a big mafia. If you fuel the fear in people's mind, then everybody will put a pressure on the government that we should increase defense expenditure, and so people will start purchasing weapons, and that is what happens. You say that this person, like Saddam Hussein, he was killed, and they said he had this weapons of, what is that, WMD, weapons of mass destruction. Nothing was found, but so many weapons of mass destruction was sold. So sometimes what we do is we lose the big picture. So similarly, when you say that some bad action is being done, remember always, any good action or bad action, particularly bad action, is done for a selfish motive. So when the selfishness comes, automatically it will not be nishkama karma. What is the crux of this karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana? It is nishkama karma, selfless action, an action where you do not expect fruits, but automatically in a selfish action you are expecting fruits.
But some of them believe that killing kafirs is a holy thing. They are doing good for.
That's what. That is also they expect fruit. That they are doing good. That is they expecting.
They are doing good to earth. They are doing nishkama killing.
That's what. They don't say that they are doing nishkama. This is what you are telling, because you have studied Bhagavad Gita. Till now I have never come across any jihadi or at least statement or anywhere they say nishkama. They have a very specific purpose. They say it is jihad. Actually, jihad is mentioned in the Quran, but nowhere it is said that jihad means to kill somebody. Jihad is a very holy thing, a spiritual practice where you kill the evil propensities of your mind. evil propensities of your mind. So when somebody is saying jihad, it is not like holy crusade. In fact, this holy crusade is also not there in the Bible. This is all the invention of people who wanted to keep their own samrajya, you see, their own empire. Today, Christianity is saying, for the first time a non-European Pope has come and he is saying that we should enter into a dialogue with Islam. This is a very historic statement. So why? Because that is what will happen. Swami Vivekananda says Satya Yuga has come. This is the age of truth. Where do we see? We see all kinds of corruption, dishonesty. And Swamiji says that Satya Yuga has come. What does that mean is eventually people will go towards a path where Ekam Sad Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. The one truth is called by many by many names by the sages. That age of pluralism, true pluralism, where everyone will have his or her own way of realizing one's own self or God or whatever you call. So that age is soon coming. It has to come. Sri Ramakrishna says, as many faiths, so many paths. That has to come. So it will come. So today you see, after more than 2000 years of persecution, Christianity says that we have to enter into a discourse with Islam. So that will come. Slowly Islam will say, there are many great scholars and many religious thinkers in Islam today who think that Islam has come into such a stage where they have to again go back to the original teachings of Prophet Muhammad. So that is coming slowly. Hinduism also, there has been a lot